Would you like to be a buff, angry wizard?
Then maybe the path of the Muscle Wizard Barbarian is the right subclass for your next campaign. What's going on, YouTube? I'm the Mind Flayer Slayer.
And I'm Dr. D, and we have something pretty epic for you today. This is new partner content. By new, I mean it's been released before in Valda, Spire Secrets, but now it's official partner content for D&D through D&D Beyond. You can play in your campaigns right now. These are really interesting subclasses.
A little wonky, but fun.
And they'll have unique premises, some of which this, for example, is a barbarian that uses quote-unquote magic, but it's actually things where they punch and use fists and things like that, not actual magic, or some really crazy effects. So we're going to talk about it and give you our tier rankings. Stick around to the end, and let's get started with what the Barbarian Muscle Wizard gets at level 3.
Level 3, Unarguable Wizardry. Your unquestionable legitimacy and immense pectoral muscles give you advantage on charisma, intimidation checks, made to convince others that you are in fact a wizard.
When you're not. Additionally, if someone questions your legitimate magical prowess, you can take a reaction to enter your rage until your next turn. This rage can't be extended and does not expend the use of your rage. So this is pretty interesting, right? You get a free rage use. Now, rage is pretty easy to come by in the 2024 edition. And again, these are all compatible with 2024, which is pretty fantastic. This is like a ribbon feature, right? Auto, charisma, and can maybe turn you on into a rage if nobody believes that you're a wizard, because you're not actually casting spells. You are a legitimate barbarian.
Perhaps your seething anger will tip the scales.
Next up, speaking of, we have Cantrips at level 3. You can call upon your magic, quote-unquote, to cast Cantrips in combat. Cantrips, again, in quotes. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a target with a strength-based attack, usually a melee, a punch, unarmed weapon, you can use one of your following cantrips of your choice.
Mage Hand. You can push the target up to 5 feet straight away from yourself if it is large or smaller. While your rage is active, you can push the target up to 10 feet away instead.
This is awesome. So if you hit with like an unarmed strike, you're then using Mage Hand to push them forward. It's not a spell.
Yeah,
but it is a spell.
But it's a spell.
You can liken these kind of weapon masteries, +1, and with a pseudo-magical flavor.
Shocking Grasp. The force of your strike is quite shocking. While your rage is active, it can't make opportunity attacks until the start of your next turn.
So it is mimicking Shocking Grasp.
You hit so hard that they're like
a cartoon
right?
thing? That's great, yeah. Amber, this is every time you hit with a strength-based attack, so you can actually do these quote-unquote cantrips more than you could do a regular cantrips, because they, for example, Green Flame Blade.
It's every time you hit?
Yeah, it only is once per your attack. It takes up your whole extra attack. You can't use extra attack, I should say. But here, you can do these on top of your masteries, on top of these quote-unquote cantrips. So really interesting. Gives you a lot of, for level 3, a lot of interesting utility the Barbarian would normally not get. Speaking of a cantrip,
True Strike. You really, truly strike, dealing an extra 1d6 damage to the target. The damage has the same type as the weapon or unarmed strike used for the attack. While your rage is active, you add half your barbarian level, rounded down, to the extra damage.
This is really cool.
Okay.
True Strike is one of the new cantrips in 2024, which is very potent. And adding anything that kind of scales up at your barbarian level, it's not just 1d6, it can go up to 1d6 plus 10 per attack.
Yeah, it's incredibly powerful.
Really cool, especially as a barbarian, having the option to, because barbarian doesn't have, it has brutal strikes now, but doesn't have any ways to really increase your weapon damage too much. So this is a way to do that, get around that without having to cast spells while casting spells. So really cool.
I like
interesting effects.
It's fun.
Couple of these with your brutal strikes and your weapon masteries, you're gonna have a huge slew of utility for your barbarian.
100%.
Using the Muscle Wizard.
Level 6, you're getting spells. Your magic is powerful enough to cast every spell that exists, and no one can prove otherwise without broken ribs. However, you only prepared the following spells today. While your rage is active, you can use each of the following spells. Once you do so, you can't use that spell until you finish a long rest.
And again, these do not interrupt your rage, as in you can cast them while you're raging, because these aren't actually spells, they're just you punching harder, or punching in different ways.
Your Burning Hand, your backhand slap is legendary. As an action, you can make an unarmed strike against each creature within your reach. On a hit, the strike deals an additional bludgeoning damage equal to 1d8 plus your strength modifier, and the target has disadvantage on the next attack it makes before the start of your next turn.
This is crazy.
Fiery backhand!
Oh my god. Okay, that's really good. You do extra damage, and you can make an unarmed strike against each creature. Now, is this your whole action? But this is kind of where cleave used to be.
Yeah.
Now you can actually have a way to do quote-unquote area of effect damage with your barbarian. This is awesome. It's unarmed strikes, which aren't strong, but you can take Tavern Brawler or maybe like multi-class monk to make this go the distance. And if you have a 10-foot reach or 15-foot reach, for example, if you're enlarged, and you're just like backslapping every pop, 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 pop. Very cool. I mean, and the strength and that damage isn't like fireball, but it doesn't hit your allies and has an extra utility effect disadvantage. This is really fun.
It's very fun.
I like that.
Magic Missile. As an action, you can make 3 ranged attacks using darts, daggers, or other weapons with the thrown property that use strength for the attack and damage rolls. Because Magic Missile never misses, you have advantage on these attack rolls.
Oh wow, that's pretty fun.
Free advantage?
Wait, you can make 3 range attacks?
At advantage?
At advantage? And, I mean, of course, you can build up your throne powers kind of well.
Silly,
It's pretty silly. Yeah, they don't do a ton of damage, but with your rage adding extra damage to the strength, because even though a weapon could use finesse, you can also use it for strength on that side of it.
You could totally min-max this.
Wow, you can get magical weapons, maybe that extra effect.
Yeah.
For example, they could have like a returning property or something. That's really cool. So 3
like
range
this a
attacks. Whoa, and they're going to be kind of close range, but still, that's a fun spell.
They can't be counterspelled.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because they're not actually spells.
Get wrecked.
Whoa, really fun. So yeah, so 3 attacks. So because at this point you still only have 2 attacks, extra attack. Wow, this is awesome. I kind of like it.
That's fun.
They give you some range options to Barbarian.
Up next, we've got
Shield. When you're hit by an attack roll, you can take a reaction and quickly don a shield to defend yourself. You gain the shield's AC bonus against a trigger attack, potentially causing it to miss. If the attack hits, the damage dealt to you is reduced by the amount equal to your Barbarian level. That's huge. I mean, Barbarians are already super tanky, getting that resistance half damage, right? Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. You get you literally get your shield out, even if you're wearing like a two-handed weapon, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You bust out like a little buckler. You get +2 or more, depending on if it's a +3 shield. You get +5 AC.
Yeah.
And then you take -20 damage once per turn. That's fantastic.
That's crazy.
That's a really good shield spell.
That's a really good shield spell.
Whoa, I like that a lot. Let's see what else I get. And we're only at level 6.
Level 10, Magical Resistance. You're such an amazing wizard that other wizards can't even touch you. While your rage is active, you have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
That's huge.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's one of those like
Advantage against fireball dex saves?
What?
Right?
What? Yes. Oh, that's great. Well, okay, so you are like the most. I mean, you're playing the fantasy of being a wizard while not being a wizard literally at all, and make your table hate you in the best possible way.
It's so
yeah, I kind of like this a lot.
I think I'm building another character this way soon.
Yeah, the Muscle Barbarian.
The Muscle Barbarian.
Yeah, where it's like all you're doing is like using your charisma checks to make you believe you're a wizard, even though you're not.
I'm a wizard.
Yeah, I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard. Get in my wizard helicopter.
Yeah.
And what's interesting here is that usually this advantage on saving throw spells either comes at very high subclass levels, or it was like when the 2014s, like very specific races / species got it.
Yeah.
And they were very, very favored. You want this kind of
very
ability.
good.
Because that's where Barbarian succumbs a lot, is to spell saves.
100%.
Wow, this definitely shores that up.
Okay.
Okay, level 14, this is the biggest meme on the internet for D&D, is I cast Fist. You can crush your enemies with your ultimate spell. It's called Fist. When you take the attack action, while your rage is active, you can replace one of your attacks with a really hard punch. That's the description. This is a really hard punch. Make an unarmed strike with advantage. Oh my god, this has so many ways to grant advantage. On a hit, although you kind of already get advantage with reckless attacks, but now you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
On a hit, the target takes bludgeoning damage equal to 66 plus your strength mod, and has prone if it's huge or smaller.
What?
You can use this feature once per active rage. So you have a lot of rages, you can take your rage away and do a rage.
Yeah.
So most combats, you'll be able to automatically, and this is what's so good about
Eldritch Smite.
Yeah, so big damage, 66, you're looking at probably an average of 20, 30 damage maybe with the strength. Boom, automatic prone, the rest attacks are at advantage.
Some pretty powerful fisting.
Yeah, this is your ultimate I cast Fist. And that's the whole class. I mean, it's really, it's kind of powerful.
So fun.
Yeah, very powerful, very fun. We have played with the Valda Spire Secrets classes in our campaign.
They're very powerful.
Yeah.
They're very unique, and I am a huge fan of them. Really.
Yeah, really fun to use. Not that game breaking, really. This seems kind of strong, but if you think think about it within the range of power we now have 2024 subclasses, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think this is still like B plus A power level. I mean, it's B power level, it's S flavor.
Yeah.
S flavor.
So if you want to be able to cast fists and have a barbarian who wanted to be a wizard but never made it, but is now a wizard, take this class. Really fun. All right, we're going to get to more of these partnered content subclasses you can play right now at your table. Coming right up. Thank you for watching. May all your muscles roll 20s.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.